Yeah. Top 10 prison escapes whoa, okay, yeah. Top 10 prison escapes who were never found. So these are people that were in prison, but they got out and they're living their life, till this day. You feel me? You can't hate on them. They found a way to get out of the system. They did it. They did it. You can't even be mad. So with that being said, it's by WatchMojo.com.
These are the ones who got away. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 prison escapees who were never found. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at prisoners who escaped from prison and successfully evaded capture, even if it didn't end well for them. We'll only be including prisoners who were never found, so escapees who remain free but whose locations are known, such as Black Liberation Army member Assata Shakur, will not be included. Number 10. Theodore Cole and Ralph Rowe. While there have been more famous and dramatic escapes from Alcatraz, this was the one that proved it could be done. Cole and Rowe were bank robbers who were transferred to the seemingly inescapable Alcatraz after their escape attempts at another prison. But even Alcatraz couldn't contain them. They fled from the island on
Wait, it's them saying that they had to get over here because they tried to escape the other prison. That's wild. That's
December 16th, 1937, after cutting a small hole out of a window in the prison's tire repair shop. They were never seen again. While there were a few alleged sightings and interactions following their escape,
Hold up. You know what's also crazy about this is like they really cut a hole to escape. Like they're doing stuff that people do in the movies in real life. See? It's playing games. I want to know what the people did in prison. Okay, that sounds crazy saying out loud. I'm not going lie. Okay. Is the game gonna restart? Nah, I think we're good. Yeah. So back to this. They cut a hole to get out of prison.
More than likely, the two drowned in the swift waters of the San Francisco Bay. Number 9. Sharon.
Dang. Oh wait, okay, so we don't know that they drowned, but there is a possibility that they could have drowned. But I think they got away. Like if you had if this wasn't your first attempt to escape, and then they got moved to this prison so you wouldn't escape, and then you escaped that prison and they never found you, I'm gonna assume you made it free. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be an optimistic. You did all that work. I don't want you to drown. Come on, and then you were bank robbers. Like, come on now.
Sharon Kinney. Sharon Kinney is a murderer who killed 3 people in the 1960s. The first was her own husband, James Kinney, who was shot in the head. The second, Patricia Jones, was the wife of a man with whom Kinney was having an affair. The third was a Mexican-born American citizen whom Kinney killed while in Mexico. She was serving 13 years in a Mexican prison when she escaped on December 7, 1969, resulting from a combination of lax security and a blackout at the prison. Authorities have all but given up on their woman hunt, and Kinney, if still alive, remains at large. Her outstanding warrant is now one of the longest in American history. Number 8. John Pat.
See, we're not gonna praise this, y'all. This is just crazy. Yeah, she killed 3 people. Okay, moving on.
Patrick Hannon. In 1955, John Patrick Hannon was serving a relatively light sentence of 21 months for grand theft auto and assault. However, he escaped from England's Verne prison in December of that year. He and another inmate, Gwyneth Thomas, escaped from the prison after scaling a wall with knotted bed sheets, but Thomas was caught just 16 hours after the escape. Hannon, meanwhile, has remained at large for 63 years as of 2018. Hannon is considered the most successful fugitive of all time in terms of length of time eluding capture. Today, he is, or would have been, 85 years old. Number 7. Jerry.
Now that's a person that got away. Why didn't the other person get away? Like, how did one of them get away and not the other one? But at least he didn't snitch or nothing, you know what I mean? Or the guy probably didn't tell him where to go. Like, he was just like, this is how far I can get you. You got to figure out your way after that. And it's like,
Bergevin. Jerry Bergevin had a normal life. He served in the army, settled in Bay City with his wife, and had 3 daughters.
Okay.
However, Bergevin also resorted to burglary to provide for his family. Bergevin's criminal life eventually caught up with him, and he was sentenced to 10 to 15 years for robbing a drugstore. He was eventually transferred from state prison to a minimum security prison camp, and promptly escaped in 1969.
Oh.
The 44-year search for Bergevin was finally called off in 2013, and his charges were dropped. There's been no word from the ex-con, and his granddaughters believe him to be dead. Number 6, Glenn.
Dang, because he's been on the run for so long, he can't even contact like his family members, or the family members know that he's alive and they're just, putting it up for the publicity, like, yeah, he's gone, like, da-da-da. But that's crazy. After 44 something years, you finally dropped the case. You should have dropped the case after the 20 years you couldn't find a man. Like, after 20 years, you still searching, you're not going to drop the case? You had to wait 44 years to then be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to drop this case. I feel like, no, this is... Personally, I feel like if you escape prison, they should just let you go free, because that's their fault. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Like, them trying to find you years on years after ending for their mistake is like, come on out. And then you got to give the people some credit. Like, not only did they escape your prison, but now they're avoiding you because they don't want to go back. And they probably don't want to go back for a specific reason. And some of these people did real hard crimes, but like burglary, and you're in there for 15 years and you're doing it to provide your kids, like, there needs to be some type of like leniency or some shit, because that's just wild to me. But hey, man.
Stewart Godwin. Like Jerry Bergevin, Glenn Stewart Godwin was a man trying to get by. He worked as a tool salesman, a construction worker, and a mechanic before he decided to rob his drug dealer friend Kim LaValle. During the robbery, Godwin stabbed LaValle 26 times with a knife. He then blew up a truck with LaValle's body inside to cover up the murder. Godwin was serving 26 to life in Folsom Prison when he escaped via storm drain Shawshank Redemption style in 1987. He fled to Mexico and was rearrested, but escaped again in September 1991. His current whereabouts are unknown, although he is believed to be working in the Latin American drug trade. Number 5, Glenn Stark Chamber.
It just keeps getting boom, boom, boom. I thought his story was going to be a little different, but okay. They say he might end up in a cartel. Okay. Mind my business on that one.
Some convicts get out of prison by masterfully planning a dramatic escape. Others force their way out. Chambers simply rode a truck out and was never seen again.
Oh.
Chambers had beaten his girlfriend to death in 1975 and was serving life inside Florida's Polk Correctional Institution. One day, while loading boxes onto a truck, Chambers cut a small slat out of the truck's roll-up door and stowed himself away. He simply rode out of the high-security prison.
I'm just saying, like, this, it's like messed up what he did, but then at the same time, you gotta give credit for where credit's due. Like, the way he escaped is like, yo, what the fuck? Like, but it's also like, bro, like, I don't get, we, like NBA Youngboy says, stop the violence, bro. Stop the violence. Because what the hell? Like, I don't know the backstory of why he did it, but to me, that's just why, like, I don't know, killing someone, that's extreme, y'all. That's very extreme. Like.
And let himself out of the cab. His case remains open, but as law enforcement agent Brandon Sheely once stated, quote,
wait, and you know what's sad too, is this, like, like, when he was in prison, the family that, like, lost the daughter, you feel me, could have some type of, like, insurance, like reinsurance, as justice is being done. But now that he's out, like, they might be looking over their shoulder. This is just me all speculating, y'all. Like, don't take this, like, seriously or personal, but they could be looking all over their shoulder, or they just now feel like the justice isn't served because, like, he got out, you know what I mean? But, then other people may look at it like, give the man another chance. But I don't know. It's just how you look at it. There's just so many different possibilities. But that's wild. That's wild.
We are 23 years behind him at this point.
23.
And it's a lot of ground to make up. Number 4, Omid Tahvili. Omid Tahvili is the Iranian-Canadian boss of a massive Canadian crime family. Along with other crimes, Tahvili committed mail, wire, and telemarketing fraud by stealing over $3 million with his fraudulent telemarketing business. He also kidnapped and sexually assaulted a man he believed was connected to a $300,000 robbery of his drug business. While awaiting trial in a max security Canadian prison, Tahvili bribed a guard and simply walked out the front door. While the guard was sentenced to 3 years in prison, Tahvili remains at large to this day. In 2008, he was...
This is what I'm saying. Some people in this world could deadass be bought, because that is fucking wild. Man said, what's your price? I'll pay it. Let me go. Cause and then the guard went to. I wonder if he gotta keep the money. You feel me? Like, if he went to prison, but he still got to keep the money, like, how did that work? Or did you just take an L, like, overall? Or did the guy know what's happening to you and he's, like, setting you up, like, helping you out? And I don't know. There's so many conspiracy theories that could be, like, oh, man.
Named one of the world's 10 most wanted fugitives. Number 3, Eleanor Jarman. Nicknamed the Blonde Tigress by the media, Eleanor Jarman was a robber who was eventually busted for the murder of clothing store owner Gustav Hope.
Wait, she just looks... You just wouldn't picture her as a robber. But it'd be the people you least expect.
Jarman was found complicit in his murder and was sentenced to 199 years in prison, although she escaped on August 8, 1940. After visiting her family, who was going through some personal troubles at the time, Jarman went underground and was never seen again. However, she maintained contact with her family through classified ads in the newspaper, although these communications stopped in the mid-90s when Jarman was roughly 90 years old. Number 2, Vasilis.
Now, that is badass. What she did is wrong, murder is always wrong, but what she did after that, she still made sure she can contact her family and, like, her own different type of secret language and shit, and then on top of that, she lived a very long age. The underground part, I don't know why she went underground, maybe, that's on her, but that's still cool. Hey, man.
Paliakostas. Now, this is a story fit for the big screen. Paliakostas was serving a 25-year sentence at Greece's Korydallos prison for kidnapping and robbery. He's been linked to various high-profile kidnappings, including those of a Greek industrialist and the CEO of a food company.
That's wild.
In 2006, 2 accomplices hijacked a sightseeing helicopter and busted Paliakostas out of prison. The guards never intervened, as they believed it was a scheduled visit from prison inspectors, while Paliakostas was eventually recaptured.
That's smart as hell. So no one can get fired, right? So nobody can, like, even if you were paid off, what's it called? It's because you guys are all thinking it's like a screen visit. You guys can all go with that same narrative, so no one looks guilty, you feel me? And that dude literally flew out. That's even, I don't know what's crazier. Literally walking out of jail or flying out of jail. Hey, man.
He escaped for a second time in 2009, once again using a helicopter. Despite a short gunfight, Paliakostas escaped and flew into the sunset. Number 1, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers. The 1962 Alcatraz escape may just be the most famous prison escape in history. In June of 1962, 3 prisoners, Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin, successfully escaped from Alcatraz using a complex system of fake dummy heads, ventilation shafts, and an inflatable raft. They then sailed into history. Their escape has been the subject of a movie starring Clint Eastwood, decades of discussion, various documentaries, and even a Mythbusters test, where the escape was found possible. While some believe they died in the attempt, other pieces of evidence, including a convincing photograph and a letter allegedly written by the 83-year-old John Anglin, may prove otherwise. Do you agree with our picks?
Wild.
Check out these other
What's up with them saying they're in the ocean, they're dying? These mother truckers at least had a life raft, and it was 3 of them. So, like, they could have survived. And then there was also, like, a note saying, like, following up, unless someone, like, wrote that. But, hey, man, that's cool. Okay, that's very different. That's what's up, though. That's cool as shit. These people really be breaking out of prison, y'all. People really be breaking out of prison.